Welcome back to New Jersey Viewpoint. I'm Ken Rosato. Substance abuse in our community is more pervasive than you think, and it can affect people of all ages. Daytop, New Jersey is an organization which aims to provide individualized support to young people engaged in substance abuse, returning them to their communities as responsible adults. With us today from Daytop, New Jersey are James Curtin, the Senior Vice President and Executive Director, Father Joe Hennen, the founder of Daytop, New Jersey, and Craig Hanlon, a former graduate who is now an attorney specializing in labor law. Welcome to all of you. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you.
First of all, Daytop, New Jersey, a wonderful program. How long ago was it founded?
It was founded in 1992 by Father Joe Hennen. We were invited to open our doors in the state of New Jersey by then Attorney General Bob Del Tufo under the Florio administration.
Mm-hmm. And the question is now, do you find that drug abuse and substance abuse is more pervasive today, or do you find that there is more education preventing it, or do you just find that there's a constant revolving door?
It is as prevalent today as it ever was. There's been much more education, but the drugs keep on shifting. Now the big one is prescription drugs. You know, when we started in 1990, that was not the big drug. But now the big drug is prescription drugs, which generally moves into heroin.
Unreal. So prescription drugs seem like the neater, cleaner way, right?
That's correct.
It seems like, and a lot of people, I guess, doctor shop. They go from one doctor who believes that they're doing the right thing. You go to another doctor, doesn't realize the first doctor gave a prescription. So before you know it, you start with a little Xanax and whatever other prescription, sleeping aids or whatever.
That's exactly correct. And Mom and Dad have it in their medicine cabinet, not thinking that it is a lethal substance to their children. And so it becomes a very common, very accessible drug.
Do you ever see or hear stories where you even have situations where more than one family member is involved in the abuse?
Our program in New Jersey, our centers primarily treat adolescents, young people, and over the last decade we see more and more second, sometimes, believe it or not, third generation substance abusers. It's really tragic, but it happens.
And I'm sorry, please continue.
It happens more often than I think the people in society believe.
How successful are treatment programs today in combating the challenge?
Well, certainly with adolescents, the approach to treatment has got to be a family-based approach. We see ourselves as not just treating the identified patient, but really treating the entire family. And research indicates that if you can retain somebody in treatment for 90 days or more, that the likelihood for a sustained recovery, long-term recovery, greatly increases.
So give us a success story. Do you have a success story for us?
I think I might have a success story. My story started, I was a smart, popular athlete from the suburbs, but addiction can hit anybody, anywhere, and it hit me pretty hard. I was fortunate to find myself in Daytop, where I learned primarily how to identify those triggers, not just on the outside, but on the inside. That led me to use drugs. So as Jimmy mentioned, it really focused on building the family relationships again. So I had to confront my family and overcome a lot of the issues that I had created through years of using some very serious drugs, and was able to then get put back in the community as a responsible adult. So since I've graduated Daytop, I consider myself just a normal guy, but I know Daytop looks at me as a special success story, and so I'm proud to discuss my story. I graduated college, went to law school, and now practice as an attorney in New York, and have great relationships with my family, and still find time to do some hobbies that I take a lot of pride in, like running the New York City Marathon.
And how nice it is, though, for younger people who are just coming into Daytop to know that, yeah, it's a long and difficult process, but they can come out and be on the other side like yourself.
That's a really powerful message, and so I take most pride in just going back to Daytop Mendham, speaking to the kids there, and letting them know that there is hope. That where they are now may be difficult, but myself and many others like me, both before and after, have gone through that same position.
We're looking at some pictures right now of some of the folks from at Daytop. When you were in the program, did you kind of regard it as your family at the time?
I did, and in fact, that's how we refer to each other, as the family. All the kids that are there refer to each other as the family. You spend all day, every day with each other. And through your interactions with each other, through your confrontations, through your counseling sessions, through everything that Daytop has structured for you, you become closer, you learn about each other, and more importantly, yourself.
What was your lowest point, Craig? When did you realize that you needed to give up and let the program get to you, realize, and when did you realize you had to absorb the education that was being offered you, if you will?
Well, my lowest point, in fact, came before I entered Daytop. I found myself on a bathroom floor in a crack house in Harlem. And as a kid that I mentioned, I was from the suburbs. I played sports. I got good grades. I didn't know how I got there. And so I cried out for help, also through the criminal justice system. And my family brought me to Daytop. And it was very early in the program that I realized I would really have to accept what Daytop was teaching me, internalize it, and then apply it in my everyday life if I were going to make sure that I never found myself in that position again. And
Father, Craig's story is not unusual.
It's not unusual, thank God, and I think that's the hope for parents and for young people. Now, Craig came into the program voluntarily. Other ones, the parents have to use the law enforcement to push the kids back against the wall and say, you're going to get treatment or you're going to go to jail. And we encourage that, because after the child is there for a while, pretty soon he or she begins to surrender and say, hey, there is hope. I can see I'm enjoying my life as a sober, straight person. And so, and then if we can get them through that, and like Jim said, if we can keep them there for at least 90 days, there is a very high percentage chance that they will be able to go on like Craig and lead a very positive, productive life.
But that is the tough time, right? The let go, let God time,
That's
right? Until
exactly
they finally
correct.
let go and let God. That is the tomorrow from the other program, if you will.
That's right.
Usually kids coming, kicking and screaming. You know, it's very rare for an adolescent, for a young person, a teenager, to say, I've hit bottom. So most of the time there are other people, whether it's the juvenile justice system or loved ones, pushing them into treatment. And they come in kicking and screaming, and our approach is a tough approach, yet an approach where we're showing love and concern for people, and always looking to be strength-based, looking, you know, for the strengths within these young people and the family system.
We have just about 20 seconds left. We have so many folks in society today when they say, oh, it's just a little pot. Oh, it's just a drink. Come on. But you folks we're going to legalize an ounce of marijuana. What's the difference? What do you say to them? 20 seconds.
It's very dangerous, and be careful the message you're sending, especially the young people in society today. Be very careful.
Slippery slope.
Very, very slippery. And the drugs out there, including marijuana, are so strong. It's a zero tolerance.
All right. All of you gentlemen, thank you so much. Daytop, New Jersey. It's great that you're there helping so many people.
Thank you.
I'm Ken Rosato, and thank you again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.